So good evening, welcome to my Welsh garden. It's thundering outside and will be for the next 5 days apparently. So I'm in the greenhouse because I'm a wimp and I'm not going out in that rain. Here are my tomatoes, don't forget, keep tickling them. This is that little one you saw all the way down there. And that's the result of tickling them last time. So well worth tickling, keep going. Don't forget, if you're growing tomatoes, keep pruning them. What I mean by pruning? Well, this is the main stem coming up here, the flower trusses. This is a leaf node, which you can trim out the leaf node, trim it back to about there if it's overshadowing other plants. It won't do much harm to the plant itself. But there, you'll see a little volunteer. Now, if you allow that to grow, you'll get masses and masses of leaf and not a lot of flowering, unless it's a cherry tomato because they're bred to do that. Whereas with these are plum tomatoes. You need to have trusses and trusses and trusses of tongs, like you've got the flowers there, look, all the way down. So you keep pruning out these little volunteers here, and so you get your trusses all along the main stem. But don't waste these, don't throw these away, and I'll show you why in a minute. So over to the hydroponics section. There's quite a bit of it. Things have moved on. These are my little baby tomatoes I showed you in my hydroponics, and they're now all the way up to the roof of the greenhouse. They're doing really well. They're on this at the moment. There's a hydroponic tomato feed and they seem to be really liking it, but I'm running low on that and it's getting really hard to get hold of. So I'm now using Pro 81 from Andy's Aqua Garden Plants. That seems to be working quite well. You'll notice down here the the pepper plants have taken a bit of a beating from the slugs. The nematodes working great in the garden, along with a frog I've got in there, and I recently found a stag beetle which hunt down slugs, so they're doing a good job out there. They don't come in here, and so they're getting away with it. So I put these slug pellets down, but they are organic pellets, as you can see here, organic, and they're basically a ferric phosphate, so iron basically. They eat it, it swells up in their stomach and stops them feeding, and then the slugs wither away somewhere in the corner and die off. Harmless to pets because they're not attracted to eat it. Doesn't mean if they eat it, it won't harm them, which is why I only use these in the greenhouse where I can keep the pets out. Okay, so I wouldn't use those outside. Then going up on the top here, I couldn't get any grow bags, so I bought 4 bags of organic compost, bargain, 4 for a tenner, and they are organic compost, and I've stuck in it, at the top here, I've got a cucumber in a pot. I've cut the bottom of the pot out and stuck it into the grow bag, so it's now rooting into the grow bag. Obviously likes it because it's grown all the way along the greenhouse here. I've also stuck in my sweet potato that's finally sending out little slips and things. If you recall, that was stuck in a tin can of water. I've got a Japanese squash there, which hopefully I'm going to train up this wire and across the top of the greenhouse, and there's another cucumber giving it rooty all the way up there. So back onto the hydroponics, I've got chilies in hydroponic solution. Now chilies require a different mixture of phosphate, calcium, nitrate, etc. So I've got a different blend for them, and that is this with the seaweed extract, because they all love a bit of seaweed. And you see they took a real mothering from the slugs, so I got on top of that. But now they're really picking up, and you can see now I've got flower buds forming, whereas these flower buds were nailed by the slugs as some kind of delicacy. So they're all doing well. The cucumbers that are in here are not in hydroponic, they are just in standard soil, so I water those daily. These globes contain water and slow release it into the pots. And you can see lots and lots of flowers, lots of them, hundreds in fact. And you can see here that that is a female flower because it has the fruit behind it, whereas a straight spike without the fruit behind it is a male flower. And as you expect with the males, they're nothing pretty, nothing showy, nothing fancy. There they are, in fact. There's the flower, no fruit behind it. So periodically I'll let a few insects fly in. You can see there's a few dotted all the way around in here. I leave the door open, they come in, they fly around, and I kick them out at the end of the night. They do all the pollinating for me. Now, I told you about the offcuts. So these are my tomato offcuts, which you can see here. And what I do is I take them, wrap them in a bit of mineral wool or whatever you've got, just to hold it in support really. Stick them in, chuck them in the solution, as you can see in there. And eventually, as you can see there, they start to root. And once they've rooted, you can either stick them in another hydroponic system or pop them up and what have you. There isn't enough of the season left for them to get red fruits because we are, what, middle of August now? But what they will do is produce a lot of green tomatoes, which is going to be excellent for green tomato chutney, and that is my game plan, going for the chutney. So there you go. So this is the update from the greenhouse. It's dead damp out there. I'm not going out there, I'm not that brave. So I'll love you and I'll leave you. Take care, enjoy your gardening, and catch up with you soon.